outcomes. In completing this project, you will learn how to apply basic string manipulation technique using loops and conditionals. For this project, you need to work with two types of loop, both while and for, not one. Okay. You need to write at least two loops in your code. Create custom encryption and decryption function using the Caesar cipher logic you already have done with the PS lab, some of the encryption and decryption technique, but for the project, you need to work with function. You need to handle both uppercase and lowercase later, preventing formatting and spacing things. Well, I'm going to briefing the mission again. In the final days of Earth, as global communication system failed, small resistant groups develop a cipher to encode their survival knowledge. The records, now known as the Old Earth cipher, included techniques on farming, medicine, and civil order, all crucial to humanity's rebirth. Just before Earth, we lost these encrypted texts uploaded to Nova Gaia's deep data vaults. Now, decades later, aboard the Nova Exodus colony ship, we must implement Lexicon Rebuilder 7X, a Caesar cipher-based translation tool. This software allows colonists to both encrypt and decrypt lost data transmission by shifting characters according to a numerical key, reviving the critical knowledge buried in code. So what are the problem statement? You are to build a Caesar cipher simulation with two main features. What are those features? Encoding and decoding. So you need to create two major features, both encoding and decoding. You have some data, you need to put that to the encoder to encode it, and then you can use the same data to decode whether you are getting the exact same data. That's the main purpose. So that you're so sure that your function is like your software is working or your project is working. The cipher works by shifting each alphabetical character by a user-defined number. For encoding, letters are shifted forward. For decoding, they're shifted backward. The program should prompt the user to enter a message and a shift value, ask whether the message should be encoded or decoded, transform each letter appropriately while preserving the case. If it is an uppercase, you need to write the uppercase letter. If it is a lowercase, you need to write the lowercase shifting. Ignore and preserve the non-alphabetical character. So if there is any non-alphabetical character like space, punctuation, number, which is not from A to Z, capital A to capital Z, small a to capital Z, small a to small z. Other than that, it's like non-alphabetical character. It can be anything. It can be a space, it can be a punctuation point or some other like a special character, right? So those are not, those needs to be preserved. That means you need to ignore those things. Finally, to display the final encoded or decoded message based on the prompt. The system will be essential for deciphering historical archives and creating secure transmission across ships in the Nova Exodus fleet. Your program must do those things. Implement a function to encode a message by shifting characters forward. This is the first one. The second one, you need to implement a function to decode a message by shifting the characters backward. You need to use loops, both for and while loop, and conditionals. It could be anything. What are the branches of conditionals? How many branches that you have learned? 2, 3. First is like the if block. If there's an if, you'll go that. Then if and else, it will go this branch or that branch. Then there could be like multiple if. That can be like if, elif, right? You could use any of them. To check character types and apply the cipher, you must preserve the spacing, numbers, and punctuation in the final message. It could be anything other than alphabetical number. So I just mentioned here number, punctuation, and spacing. It could be any non-alphabetical character. Accept the user input and print clearly labeled output using F string. Well, these are the required things like rubric. So the first thing is like your program works with the given text and the ciphering shown in the sample input and output. So here is the sample input and output, right? then your program works with different unknown text and cipher, not just in the sample input and output. So I have given example input, but you need to write at least 3 different test cases. The program contains loop, for and while both, if statement, and user-defined function to organize, but I'll discuss those things in next class. That's because this class we will be discussing the string only. Next class is the function, and the next week you'll work with the function more, so that you know what does mean by a user-defined function. The program contains a main function with conditional execution, no global code. Well, I will discuss those things again later here in the program structure. Then what else? All variable names and code follow the snake case or camel case that you already have known from the first project, right? So those are the required things. And as I told you, while you submit your code at the very end, you need to write these things as a comment line. Self-evaluation, you need to put your point. You need to evaluate by yourself how much you can give for that particular rubric out of 30. The second one, third one, fourth, fifth. The reason is like you will be more confident on working on your project, and the same time you're so sure that you have submitted all of, like, you have maintained all of the rubrics. So you've satisfied all of the rubrics, right? So there are like 2 reasons. That's why I asked you to write those things at the very end of your code while you submit your code. Any question about the project requirement, project specification? Yes.
Does it have to work with capital letters?
Yes. So if it's like a capital letters, you have to maintain the letter. So what I have mentioned here, where transform each letter appropriately while preserving the case. If it's an uppercase, you need to maintain the uppercase one. If it's a lowercase, you need to maintain the lowercase one. So here you can see attack at dawn, not dawn. It's like dawn time, shifting by 3. And here's the choice. Is it encoded or decoded? So E means encoded. So these are the encoded message. They are all lowercase. If there's a space after character 5, there is a space after character 5. They are not in uppercase, right? Same thing for the decoding. If you're putting the same message as a decoding message, shift by 3, but here's the decoding, not the encoding, you will get the original message, attack at dawn. The third type of example is like non-alphabetic character. If it is like some exclamation mark or some spaces, you need to put as it is. So secure data 1, 2, 3 exclamation. If I'm asking you to shift by 4 with the encoding, you need to maintain those special character, exclamation and spaces as it is. But you're changing the alphabetical character. So from S to 4 character shift is like W, is like W. For E, it is like I. For the C, it is like G. U is like Y. R, V, E, I. Then space, space, nothing changed. Then D, H, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, one important thing is like wrapping up. I hope you have done something for your PS lab. How you have wrapped up whenever it's beyond G. For example, if I ask you to move 2 characters from Y, it is like YZ and then going back again. Z2. Z2. There's no Z2. It's not a character. Then you will go back to the A. So there are various ways. One of the ways is like using the modulus operator. How does it work? Modulus operator always gives you a number within that range. Like if you're writing this, 5 modulo 2 1 or 5 modulo 2, that means you're getting a number below 2.
Doesn't it specifically give you the you divide them?
So what?
Doesn't modulo specifically give you the remainder?
Yeah, it gives you the remainder, but it should be within this range, the second value range. And you need to define that, like you need to write your own strategy, how you have defined those things, how you wrap up from Z to A, right? Now again, the first thing is like, do you understand the project description? Any question about the project specification? No? Can I jump to the design part? Now the design part, what are the required things for the design part? Do you forget it? You've done for the project one. What are the required things for the design?
While and the for.
While and the for is
The getting words.
good. It's like a flowchart.
Flowchart.
Yeah, flowchart is like a pictorial view of what you are designing, right? But yeah, you need to know what are the required thing first. Then you can go. This is the last part, like the output of your design is a flowchart. Yeah, you're right. But what's the required thing? Input, output, how we'll process it, right? What are the inputs here?
The message and the shift.
The message and the shift, right? What are the output? Oh, you missed one thing. And the encoding or decoding, three inputs: message, shifting, number, and whether you would like to encode or decode, like an option, right? These are the three inputs. What's the output? Either the cipher if it is encoding, or the plain text if it is decoding, right? Does that make sense? So these are the three inputs and one output. Now the question is how you can convert the input to the output. What are the processes? How you can handle it? Anyone?
You could convert the letters into the numbers first.
Letters to the number.
Yeah, 'cause if they have a message that they're gonna be taking in, you need to convert it into the chart that shows all the different things that they can put in and convert.
That means you are separating number and the letters from the message, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that can be a good strategy, but not the best, what I can say, is because there might be some number in between the letters, right? Then you have like multiple splits, 4, 5, 6. So for example, I can write this message. So talk to me at 6:30 p.m. on 31st, right? So there are like numbers here and also numbers here and some special character. How you can split the numbers and the letters?
use conditionals.
Conditionals, yes. Then you need to use two, container to put those things, right? One container contains the number, one container contains the letters. They need to merge it. It is somewhat tough. Yes.
I forgot. Are we allowed to use lists yet?
No,
Oh, okay.
we haven't covered list yet. So no, you are not supposed to use list here. So what you can use in this project is conditionals, loops, functions, that what I have mentioned here. What you need to do, you need to use loops and conditionals, functions, string manipulation. That's it. You're not supposed to use list or advanced concept. Okay. So what I can do here, I can traverse the whole. So this is like a string, right? A message is a string. What is a string?
Series of characters.
Series of characters, right? So this is character, and this is also character, right? It's a different type of character, not an alphabetical character. It's like a non-alphabetical character. So what I can do, I can traverse the string one by one. Whenever it's not an alphabetical number, I can skip it. I don't need to convert anything, right? So for an example, if I'm going to convert this attack at 3 p.m. So what I can do, I need to decide it. Attack 3 p.m. So for example, I'm converting it to 4 shifting. So what I can do here, like D, what is the, not the 4 shifting, 3 shifting. So A for D, then what's the shifting 3 for T?
W, right?
W,
Yeah.
W, then D, then C, D, E, F. What's for the K? K, L, M, N. Then space, I can keep as it is, right? Then 3, I can keep as it is. Then P, P,
S.
P, Q,
QRS.
S. Then for M, N, O, P, right? This is how I can convert. I can start from the first character. If it is the alphabetical character, I can convert it based on the shifting. If it is a non-alphabetical character like this space or 3, I don't need to do anything. Right? So what you're suggesting, like I can like put 2 different containers, it is somewhat tough to manage again. It's better to work on the one shot. If it's the alphabetical character, convert it, otherwise don't touch it. Make sense? Any other question? So what you need to do right now, you know, what is the inputs, what are the outputs? You need to design, like not the design, you need to write the steps for the design part. And when you are so sure that these are the right steps, you can draw a flowchart, right? You're Queen, right? What's the name?
Oh, Gavin.
Gavin?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
So with Queen? Thing.
Not here today,
Not
maybe.
yet today. Okay, does that make sense? When you like design the flowchart, when you when you know the steps, you can write it down. When you're so sure these are the steps, only then you can draw the flowchart. This is basically the same thing, but it's more readable, pictorial things. Make sense? I hope you'll be finishing the design part by this week so that it will not take too much time for you to write the code. As I've shown you in the last project solution, I have my design and I can write the code. So for this step, I can write these 2 lines. That's it. And keep in mind, for this project, you need to validate the inputs. What are the input validation?
Try and accept.
Yes, like what are the inputs first? A message. It could be anything. You don't need to worry about this, right? The second one, shift value. What is the type of the shift value?
Integer.
It cannot be a float. If you're trying to convert to a float, even if it is correct, probably I'll deduct some point, at least 1 or 2. It is an integer shifting. You need to convert it to an integer. But the input validation is like, if users are trying to enter any input other than integer, you'll throw an exception. Like, well, you need to enter an integer value. This is not correct. What is the error type? Value error. What's the third one? Encryption and decryption, right? Could be E or D. Other than E or D, what you'll do? Invalid input, right? I'll show you what you have done for the last assignments in a minute after discussing the project. And then make sure you preserve the non-alphabetic character. And I'll discuss how you can manage your code by writing function, and then whenever you have a lot of function, how you can organize your functional programming code. Okay? Any question about the project? what do you have to do? First thing, read the project description at least twice or more until you understand. Second part, start with the design part. Inputs, outputs, and the steps. Write it down so that it is easy for you to write code. I can assure you, if you can write the steps very clearly, it will not take more than 15 minutes to write code. You need to spend more time on the design. That's what people are doing in the industry. People are designing the whole project, and nowadays AI is writing the code. If you're giving the design to the AI, they'll write the code. But yeah, for your case, you're not giving the AI to write your code. It's because you are learning. Whenever you're efficient, you know, like, so what is the demerits of using the AI right now? The reason is you're not understanding the concept. For example, like function, you don't know how to write a function. If you're asking AI to write a function, they can easily write a function for you, but you don't understand what does mean by a function. Now, if you go to the industry and you need to debug your own code or someone else's code, and if you don't understand what is the syntax of a function, probably AI cannot help you on there. They'll fire you, right? So in this class, you need to learn the concept first. Whenever you are learning, whenever you are master on those things, then you can ask AI, but not this course. You can always ask AI to design the problem to help you to solve the problem, not writing the code. Keep in mind. If you tell the AI at the very first point, do not give me the solution, do not give me the code, they'll not give you the code. So just ask these things first, your AI, then asking another question, the next question. Make sense? I'm not discouraging you to use the AI, but since AI is taking over everything nowadays, you need to use to with the AI. But for your case, for your class, for this class, ask these things first. Do not give me the code. Do not give me the solution. Then ask the next question. How I can do this? Make sense? Any question about the project? No? Okay.